The 35mm GDF is among the most successful anti-aircraft guns of modern times. It defied the long-term dominance of the 40mm Bofors and succeeded it. This anti-aircraft gun, or shortly AA gun, has become the main armament of many self-propelled air defense systems. Today, we're investigating the GDF, the second most famous Swiss weapon after the army knife. The GDF is a highly influential weapon system that has changed the AA gun caliber in the West. Nearly 30 countries have adopted it, some even copied it. Its modernized and improved variants are still among the best in its class. This 35mm AA gun is one of the most preferred armament for modern self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. The story of the GDF goes back to the early 1950s. In those years, the Swiss Oerlikon-Bührle company, today's Rheinmetall Air Defense AG, realized that the available medium-caliber AA guns, designed in the 1930s, could not be effective against jet combat aircraft. Their rate of fire and accuracy were too low, and their reaction time was too high. The leading countries had initiated surface-to-air missile programs for more efficient air defense. However, these systems were still primitive and had critical limitations at low altitudes. Also, their reaction times against imminent threats were not as quick as desired. The armies needed a new generation of AA guns which would overcome the weaknesses of their predecessors to fill the defensive blind spots. The new system had to have a radar control, automatic gun laying and high rate of fire capabilities while being effective at long ranges and high altitudes. However, Oerlikon-Bührle had a formidable rival, the Swedish Bofors. The 40mm L60 of this company had become one of the most popular and widespread medium-caliber AA guns throughout the Second World War, making the 40mm munition a standard for the West. By realizing the new requirements, Bofors had already introduced the more advanced 40mm L70 in 1951. Defying the Swedish supremacy in the market was a challenging task. Oerlikon-Bührle initiated a comprehensive study in 1952 which revealed that the 35mm gun with a 90 caliber barrel was the best solution. It had almost equal performance to the 40mm L70. On the other hand, the 35mm munition was smaller while producing a lesser recoil force. So, it allowed provision to carry more munition, designing a more compact weapon system and a higher rate of fire. A single 35mm gun could achieve a rate of fire of 550 rounds per minute, while the 40mm L70 could only send 240 rounds. Besides, Oerlikon-Bührle's design would have two barrels. The company developed the 35mm 90 caliber KD series cannon based on the post-war 20mm KAA-204 to reduce development costs and time. It had the belt-fed KDA and KDB and clip-fed KDC versions. The first prototype was completed in 1959. Initially, the designation of the new AA gun was 1ZLA-353MK. It entered production as the 2ZLA-353MK, but was subsequently redesignated as the GDF-001. The Swiss Army became its first user by accepting the AA gun into its service in 1963. Japan and Turkey also produced the GDF under license. Besides, China, Iran and Myanmar developed their licensed and unlicensed copies of the AA gun. The AA gun can be towed by a 5-ton 6x6 truck with a maximum towing speed of 80 km per hour. A 3-person crew can bring the weapon into the firing position in 2 minutes and 30 seconds by electro-hydraulically raising the wheels and lowering 3 leveling spindles. The necessary power comes from the power supply unit. If the power supply unit is malfunctioned, the GDF can be ready for action within 5 minutes thanks to the hand pump. This time is reduced to 1 minute and 30 seconds in the GDF-005 variant introduced in 1985. Unlike its predecessors, it has an onboard power supply unit in front of the carriage. The GDF-003 variant has integrated protective covers and a self-lubricating feature for weapons. The barrel with muzzle brakes can be fitted with muzzle velocity measuring equipment. The early GDF 001-2-3 versions have two automatic feeding mechanisms with ammunition containers on each side of the cradle which rotate with it. Each fully loaded ammunition container holds 56 rounds. The ammunition is reloaded in 7 round clips from the reloading container. The drive for the feed is independent of the cannons and uses automatic electric spring motors, which can also be rewound manually. The upper mount platform supports the auxiliary aiming equipment, the seats for the crew, and both 63-round reloading containers. So, the early GDF variants carry 238 35mm rounds, 112 of which are ready to fire. The GDF-005 has a fully automatic reloader powered by a hydraulic system, reducing the number of gun crew from 3 to 1. This variant carries 280 35mm ammunition. The GDF-001 is fitted with the XA-BA sight. The GDF-002, introduced in 1982, has the MBDA type GSA Mark III sight with a separate ground target sight mounted on it. This variant also has digital data transmission capability. The GDF-005 features the GunKing 3D autonomous computer-controlled optronic sighting system, eliminating the need for the gunner to estimate target parameters. Its built-in microcomputer processes all target data, such as target range obtained via laser rangefinder, muzzle velocity, and meteorological data, to generate lead data for the gun control system. Even though it has its onboard optical sight, the GDF is normally used with an off-carriage fire control system. A typical battery consists of 2 AA guns, each with individual power supply and fire control units. The original fire control unit is the Zuppa fluid air mouse of Contraev's, today's Rheinmetall, Italia. Later, many operators accompanied their GDFs with more advanced Skyguard, Skyguard 3, Korkut FCS, or Sky Sentinel fire control units. The 35mm 90 caliber KDB cannon is a positively locked gas-operated weapon. Alongside the barrel, the weapon housing slides in the cradle during recoil, while the cannon cover, which contains the ammunition feed mechanism and manual cocking device, does not. A typical engagement burst is 28 rounds. The GDF can fire 35mm high-explosive incendiary tracer, high-explosive incendiary base fuse, semi-armor-piercing high-explosive incendiary, semi-armor-piercing high-explosive incendiary tracer, and frangible armor-piercing discarding sabot rounds. The latest GDF-006 and GDF-007 variants can fire the AHEAD programmable munition. Taking its name from the initials of Advanced Hit Efficiency and Destruction, this airburst round ammunition splits each projectile into 152 tungsten submunitions that form a cone-shaped pattern to destroy a target's control surfaces and other vital components. It releases a cloud of sub-projectiles just ahead of a target, enabling it to engage slow and small air threats, including unmanned aerial vehicles, besides helicopters and aircraft. It also has counter-rocket, artillery, and mortar capability. The early GDF variants can be upgraded to the latest standards. For example, Oerlikon developed the NDF-C kit to bring any GDF 001, 2, 3s up to the GDF 005 standard. The GDF 006 and GDF 007 are just modified GDF 001, 2, 3, and GDF 005 respectively, modified to fire AHEAD munition. Rheinmetall Air Defense AG unveiled the GDF 009 in 2015. Even though this variant with an internal power source has the same installation as its predecessors, its appearance is noticeably different. This AA gun features an automatic leveling system to compensate for a maximum tilt angle of up to 7 degrees. The GDF 009 Trio version has the integrated X-Star 3D radar and a network-capable fire control computer. The 35mm twin-barrel GDF 003 has a crew of 3. Its barrel length is about 3.15 meters. The weight of the AA gun is 6,700 kilograms. In the traveling position, the GDF 003 has a length of 7.8 meters, a width of 2.26 meters, and a height of 2.6 meters. The barrels can depress and elevate between -5 to +92 degrees. The turret can turn 360 degrees. It has a rate of fire of 550 rounds per minute for each barrel. The GDF-003 has an effective range of 4,000 meters. The GDF is used on the Leopard 1 based Gepard and the Type 71 based Type 87 self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. Used by the Finnish Army, the Marksman turret of the Leopard 2 Marksman combines the Series 400 radar, two 35mm KDA cannons, a ASELSAN-made gyro-stabilized sights, an inertial reference system, and associated electronics in a turret. This turret was mounted on the T-55 before, and the Finnish designation of this variant was the ItPsv 90. The Finnish Army also designates its GDFs as the ITK-88. The GDF series cannons were also used on the PZA Loara and GDF-CO3 self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, which have never reached the serial production stage. The ship-based variants of the GDF are the GDM-A and GDM-C. Even though Rheinmetall Air Defense AG keeps marketing the GDF series, it also offers the more advanced 35mm single-barrel Skyshield. This AA gun's counter-rocket, artillery and mortar variant is the MANTIS. The Millennium gun, also known as the GDM-008, is the ship-based version. The Skyranger 35 is a variant to be mounted on the self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. Aselsan upgraded the GDF-003s of the Turkish Armed Forces. The modernized guns are directed via the Korkut FCS fire and command control system, combining an Aselsan-made 3D search radar, fire control radar, electro-optical sensors, and other related electronics. Thanks to the improvements made and the integrated power supply unit, its crew is reduced to one person. The Turkish GDFs can fire locally developed Atom 35mm programmable air burst rounds. The Korkut and Gökdeniz are the land-based, self-propelled, and ship-based variants, respectively. The Type 90 is the Chinese licensed copy of the GDF-002. The PGZ-09 is the self-propelled variant of this AA gun. China also developed the SX-2190 6x6 track-mounted version of the Type 90 called the CS-SA-1. The Samavat and MAA-01 are unlicensed copies of the GDF produced by Iran and Myanmar respectively. The 35mm KDE variant is also the main armament of the Japanese Type 89 armored infantry fighting vehicle. Designed by LIW, the South African GA-35 is an independent 35mm cannon, not a variant of the GDF. This cannon has been used on the Ehlas towed AA gun, ZA-35 self-propelled system, and ship-based Denel 35mm dual-purpose gun. Argentina used the GDF, some with the Skyguard and others with the Zupa Fili de Armas during the 1982 Falklands War. They managed to shoot down one Harrier and one Sea Harrier. Also, the AA gun damaged another Harrier. During the Battle of Goose Green, the GDF was used for ground fire support in direct fire mode and stopped the advance of the British paratroopers. The Argentine 35mm AA guns also shot down one Mirage 3 and one A4 Skyhawk in friendly fire accidents. Unlike the Falkland Islands, the other combat uses of the GDF were not noteworthy. The 35mm cannons of Oerlikon successfully challenged the mighty 40mm AA guns of Bofors. Nearly 30 countries have preferred the GDF over the 40mm L70. It has become the most popular choice for modern self-propelled anti-aircraft guns. Even though it has found a limited chance to prove itself in combat, it used the opportunity in the Falklands superbly. The GDF is undoubtedly a legend. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments and shares.